All right, guys, what's going on? Good afternoon. Welcome aboard to our market recap, recapping the week, our trades, how we did right, what we did wrong, and learning. Learning, that's the deal. Every day, always learning. It is Saturday, September 9th, 2023. Glad to be with you this morning. If you're watching here on the YouTube channel, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, so you don't miss any future videos. My name is Carlos Garcia. Again, I'm the founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Thanks again for taking the time out of your day to join me every week when we recap the market. All right, glad to be on board on a Saturday. Not too much today, just for the simple fact that we had a short week. We know that Monday was Labor Day, and really, other than Wednesday, if you look here on the S&P 500 on the 1-hour chart, Wednesday we got that leg down. We are ready for the week in terms of the S&P, so let's kind of start with the week itself, give us a little bit more of context. This is COIFIN. We're going to expand this. Here's a 5-day. Dow was down 0.42% for the week. S&P down about 1.11%. NASDAQ down about 1.42%, while IWM, which is small caps, are down 2.5% for the week. Let's take the month to date. Again, starting since August 31st, the Dow is down 0.42%. So again, pretty similar. Obviously, this is the first full week of the September month. Let's go and take a look at a rolling 1 month. Give us a little bit of context as well, since it's the same exact month. This is the first week in September. You could see in a rolling 30-day period, NASDAQ down about 1.35%, NASDAQ down about 0.83%. Small caps are taking a hit, 5.34%. We'll be looking at that very carefully. Let's go to year to date, give us even more context. The NASDAQ up nearly 40% for the year, S&P up 16%. IWM is still green. Small caps down about 6%, up 6%, excuse me, and the Dow industrial move average is up 4.3% year to date. So there we go so far. Again, any kind of commentary, news and information are always on the Discord blog, the free live market blog. The link is in the description below. We would love to have you on board. It is free for all. Maybe you want to join our service, but you're not sure about paying for which service or how we do things. This is your way to have a free preview, or even just to have a team like ours to have your back and give you all the information you need in one centralized location here on the Discord server. Again, we would love to have you on board. All right, enough with that. Let's go and take a look at the week itself. Got a couple of trades open. I got JPM for next week. That was in the money yesterday. I hit as high as 20%. I'm still holding. I have Amazon 140 calls for next week as well. So again, those two are still open. Netflix, the 470 calls, got as high as 80%, 40% return. Let's go and take a look at that. We're going to go in step by step on exactly how we did. So let's go ahead and start with premium signals, starting, that was, here we go. Netflix was on the 5th. The 5th, I believe, was on Tuesday, excuse me. The 470 calls, 76 cents, 12%, really within a couple of minutes. And then we got that the same day at 10:49. So about an hour and 10 minutes. We got as high as 75%, but 40% is what we got. You can see the screenshot here. I got 80% on it. I held it personally. I thought we would get a little more, so I got flipped on, unfortunately. But everyone else did catch it, 78%. Well done, Nick. Again, because I'm taking this, guys. I'm leaving one for the gap fill off the desk. I should have closed. I did not. So Nick, well done. Everyone else, well done. I thought we would get a little more. It didn't work out for Netflix, but it worked out for Intel. So I'll show you. Intel, we filled that here on the 38 calls on the 8th. So 8th expired, excuse me, the 5th of September, which was Tuesday, we filled that. So right out the gate, we had two. Here's our recap. We were down 45% on those 38 calls, but Netflix did hit. So right when we sent that signal, we also placed the charts as well. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Netflix was here by Nick. Netflix looks like it wants to make an attempt to fill its earnings gap at 470. We have an alert above 447 to play it. This was sent out on the 4th of September, the weekend. 430 support for now being the time being. Below 420, it's a short back to 400. So thanks again to Nick for sending that out. Here is the watch list chart. We're going to tag everybody. He said he jumped the gun a little bit for this one. Alert didn't trigger, but I like it, guys. We are in. That's Intel. He went for it. We went for it, excuse me. Let's take a look at Intel. Intel looks like it's ready to fill that earnings gap from last July here. Watch this one this week, above 37.5. It's the 100-week MA. We can play upside targeting 40. Not touching short this one for now. So you can see that Intel was sent. That was a watch list as well. And again, we filled Intel that same Tuesday at 9:48 a.m. So right off the rip, we got Netflix, we got Intel. I mean, we went for it, and it worked out. So we got Netflix right off the rip on that Tuesday. I filled DraftKings right the next day, I believe, right at 9:46 in the morning. We got it rather immediately, really in about 3 minutes, which was pretty great. This was a quick one, but again, I gave everyone the heads up on watches and charts. Look at the time, 9:46 in the morning on the 6th. So let's take a look at that. 6 at 9:45. DraftKings broke my alert. Heads up. Before I even sent out a signal. 31.5 calls have volume. I'll get you guys a DraftKings chart here in a mid team. The thing is moving fast. Again, I focused on just getting the signal out to you guys rather than the chart right away because it's just moving so fast. So again, we got out already. So you can see on DraftKings here, DraftKings got to 53%. As you see here, I got 46. But here it got to 53% and I was holding. I held on to DraftKings. So again, I really like the setups. That's why I held a little bit. But the team got it. Going to watches and charts. Again, I created this chart here using the iPad. We held the 50 DMA as support. The gap fill is at 31.50. We did get that. You can see here 31.85. It is in the money. So I had to make sure to tell everybody that since it's expiring today to get out because we don't want to get exercised. If you guys want to go down and see, I said Intel and DraftKings expired today. Both are in the money. Make sure to close out before you get exercised. And then I made sure to give that information to everyone as well on the watch list and charts. So the issue again here is how long do we hold? How long do we don't? Intel was down, mind you. So I really want to go ahead and go over this part. Intel, we got an ugly candle with the market at 3 p.m. It's not stock specific, so I'm not too concerned. I wrote this on the 5th. This is a Wednesday. Our contracts have 20K in volume, so sticking with the analysis, we know where we're going to Intel. Sorry, this was on Tuesday. So the Tuesday recap gives you the information telling you, hey man, it's going to be okay. That's pretty much why I'm here, to remind everyone that everything's going to be okay. So we got in the next day. Intel calls minus 58%. But we closed in the top range of the stock session, got up as high as 0.53% in terms of the stock. Still holding, but we got Netflix and DraftKings, so 2 right off the rip. But Intel, that was the one that kind of tested us our little patience. We got as low as 72% on that thing. So I roll in the notes. Intel, other than the ugly open, well, actually was green and red tape, guys, outperforming the NASDAQ and best performing stock in the semiconductor space. Don't give up on this name quite yet. I wrote this on Wednesday. If we can get a market-wide bounce on Intel, we can outperform, and we'll be looking stellar with our calls. Great volume today, above 10K, but we've had this issue with high volume not getting us anywhere. For example, Amazon a couple weeks ago. We need 37.62 to break, guys. We got it, obviously. 37.62 on Intel, we got that, obviously, because it got to 38. DraftKings, I still like, even though we sent that close signal, cracked 30.71, and we're going to squeeze higher, possibly that gap fill to 31.58. You can see DraftKings 31.85 if you guys held. I even sent that on threads on Instagram. So Intel, finally, 9:51 in the morning on the 7th on Thursday. Boom, 41%. 41%. Patience pays. It was 70% to the downside yesterday, the day before. So again, we still have that upside daily gap. I held for a bag because Netflix didn't work out. So again, I got reversed on, but I made that back. So all's well that ends well. But if you guys closed, congratulations, you basically double dipped. And then again, the JPM play, but 3 for 3. Well done. You know, all the information is there. We update you guys pretty much daily. That's the deal, is to kind of keep you guys understanding why things move the way they move. And I understand why people can get a little worried thinking about the market, since markets do move rather quickly. Things flip, headlines, we know this. So 3 for 3, excellent work. September starts out perfect. You could see we are now 7 in a row Boeing, Tesla, Alphabet, and QQQ all hit. And then you have the 3 here, Netflix, Intel, and DraftKings. So 7 in a row. Let's see if we can get these next 2. That'll give us 9. Would love to start a month that way. All right, so that's where we are. Intel, just want to go ahead and recap here. Got as high as 38.83. Well done to the team. I also sent this out to everybody, to the masterclass. I sent out Intel 40 calls for next week, a quarter. It got as high as 40%, but I didn't get the screenshot. It was too quick. So some of you guys got it, some of you didn't. I'm still holding it. I still say we go higher on Intel. I like the setup. We're going to get that gap fill. We have not filled it. If we reject, so be it. You do have a gap to fill at 35.60, so that's a downside risk. Not the best candle, as we know, but the last time we've had a candle like that, we had a little more upside here in April. So not the worst thing in the world. I've seen it before. I'm going to be patient and see if we can get another crack at Intel. Maybe gets to that 40 level. We do have a nice trend line higher. If you want to get to the apex or the top of that, you're looking at right around 40.75. That lines up with for the July 2022 highs. I like Intel. I may want to resend that for next week, even though I still have it. Keep an eye on it. It's a great outperformer right now. It's outperforming Nvidia and AMD on a relative basis the past couple of days. Not a huge deal, but again, when it comes to trading, it is a huge deal, as we know. JPM, I went ahead and shorted that as well. And you can see here on JPM, breaking down the 100-day moving average. I love this stock, but again, I'm going to trade it to the downside to the 140 level. I have the 143 puts, so I'm about 83 cents from the money. If we can get this nasty gap fill to 139, that is bags on JPM, ladies and gentlemen, if we can get it. JPM, and then we also had Amazon. Amazon holding on to that lovely trend line there, above the 20, above the 50, above the 100, above the 200. We like that. We want to just get to 140, retest that high here from September 1st. I think we get it. We may even get a little more of a push to the upside and maybe retest 142.56, which is the highs that we had back in August. If we're looking to get back to the August highs of last year, you're talking about 145.37. This one might cook on Amazon, so I'm very excited for both of these setups. Amazon 140 calls with JPM 143 puts. It might get to 140. Again, I would love to make that immediately. Maybe wake up in the morning, banks are down, and JPM gets hit, and then Amazon goes up. Maybe we get some, some update price targets, what have you. I mean, there's always something that we could look at. Let's go and take a look here. Watch us in charts. No, excuse me. We're going to go to earnings calendar. Again, guys, earnings is basically over. The only thing that stands out here is Oracle, which is a cloud company, and Adobe. And as much as I like Cracker Barrel to eat, I don't care for the stock. So those are the only two you're really looking at. Oracle's going to affect Amazon probably because they're cloud. It's probably going to affect Microsoft because they're cloud. They're going to affect Snowflake and Salesforce.com. All the cloud players may move in sympathy with Oracle, and the same with Adobe. So again, I guess the kind of focus is two major tech names that a lot of people don't talk about. They're not the Magnificent Seven mega cap names that we kind of talk about on a daily basis. Here's the upcoming economic data this week. We have core CPI. That is Wednesday the 13th. We have CPI year over year, month over month. I think now a lot of people are not really focused on inflation anymore. We know where that's going. We know that the last kind of part of inflation is still rather sticky. Renters, labor market. So I don't think there's going to be that much emphasis into the CPI because the market is pricing in a pause for September already. So core PPI, unless we get some kind of rather extreme deviation where we're getting a bigger push higher in inflation, I'm not looking really at this data point as being so important the way it used to be. Now the only thing that's important now, in my opinion, in terms of the market, is valuations. Did tech stocks get too expensive? Rates in the dollar. That's it. Inflation obviously plays a part of that. But again, the CPI number, you're not feeling that same kind of, oh my God, this is so important like you did in months previous because of the fact that the market is pricing in a Fed pause in September with a rate hike in November. At least that's what I'm seeing right now. The market closed up green on Friday. So VIX Smash down 3.89%. like we expected. The VIX always gets hit on a Friday. Empire State Manufacturing, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment, that's going to be on Friday. Crude oil inventory, federal budget balance, 30-year bond auction, 10-year bond auctions on Tuesday. So we're going to keep more an emphasis on the bond market and see if interest rates do go higher, at least in terms of yields. But as of right then, you're playing just price action. It should be that this week is the first full week after August and after Labor Day, right? So maybe we should get a lot more volume in. Everyone's back to the office. And again, I get that quote because a lot of people have been saying that on TV. So should we get that? Sure. The expectation is, what now? What's the future hold for us, right? That's kind of the $1 million question. Let's take a look at S&P. Held at 44.40. I looked at the 44.65 for more upside. We fell back down. I was a little conservative, but we ended up basically closing out for about 20 pips to the downside. So not the best futures trading this week as S&P just chopped us up. And crude oil, all it took was one headline from OPEC. I was right here at 6 in the morning, like I said. I had 85 as my short. And what happened? We soared immediately, and we've just been ping-ponging. So again, we're going to use this kind of move, futures traders, that, maybe we could just watch crude for now, but we can always trade energy stocks, XLE, XOM. That'll be part of the watch list this week. I like energy here. We know there's golden crosses across the board. I just thought we would get a reversal on crude oil on a low volume kind of tape, short week, just technicals. Didn't work out. Oversold did not work out. Overbought did not work out, excuse me. The market just does what it wants at the end of the day, and you really can't get mad at it. You just kind of have to roll with the punches. So kind of next week, I already have a couple of things risk open, JPM and Amazon. I'm not looking to press the envelope. There's a couple of names that I talked about on Watch Us and Charts with the Discord team, Premium and Masterclass. What exactly we're looking for. XOM broke my alert, XLE broke my alert, Microsoft broke my alert. I mean, there was no real reason to push the risk here, especially going into a weekend. We don't know what's going to happen. So again, having those both, again, if we get some bad news, that'll hit JPM, which has been underperforming financials. And then we have Amazon for any kind of boost up. So we'll be ready for any kind of change going forward. But I really don't expect much in terms of headlines over the weekend. Football is starting this weekend, so how important that is here in America. As you can see, the Cowboys, baby, I'm ready to go. But that's a night game on Sunday, so I'll definitely be watching Red Zone all day tomorrow. Missing the Colorado game. Colorado is playing against Nebraska, doing this video, so I'm going to check that out after I'm finished up here. Again, thank you guys as always for joining me. Not a a long video in terms of the market. I mean, we're just waiting to see if there's any kind of move. I'm looking at TNX. I'm looking at here the TNX, which is a 10-year yield, keeps rejecting 4.3. If we look at the dollar, we're still around the 105 level. The real key here is, does the dollar reject? Do yields pull back? That's really what we're looking at. Looks like they're going to be elevated, and that's fine if that's the case. Doesn't mean stocks can't go higher. It's not one for one, but again, it could always change. So we're going to be ready. I'm going to place those. I'm going to set up the watch list for the week, this week, and I'll send that out to you guys. But again, just step by step. This is what we want. Consistency over time. Consistency, 7 in a row. I don't want to have a losing trade in September. I don't want to do it. If I have to do one trade at a time to make sure that we have all green across the board, so be it. We're not going to rush. We're going to take our time, and we're going to do the best that we can to make this week the best week we can make it. All right? Have a great rest of your weekend. I will catch you guys on Monday for the morning note on YouTube. And again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like our videos. Really would appreciate it as always. Thank you guys for the support. Go Cowboys, America's team, playing the Giants. I think the Cowboys do win. I'm going to predict the score just for the hell of it. Give me 24-17 Cowboys over the Giants. Let's see what we get. Remember, I got that Chiefs game wrong too, so don't take what I say to the bank because it's really just guessing. Go Cowboys, and we'll see you on Monday. Cheers.